Good noon to everybody, to all the participants who have joined to this today's session. I am Amulya, HR Executive of Pioneer Business Solution. So I welcome to everybody to the Team Motivation and Business Communication webinar session of today. So we are Pioneer Business Solution who are located in Bangalore. So what we do, we give end-to-end support to all our clients according to their demands by giving topmost expertise trainers according to their demands, according to their topics. Also, we give HR consultancy, staffing services, and with most expertised trainers across India. So yeah, what are the strengths? If we look into the strengths of PBS, we have pool of uh, expertise trainers with 15,000 plus freelancers and 300 plus consultants with most effective way of process. I mean, using the TAT process, we are giving solutions within 4 to 24 hours, which is fully customized and flexible according to the demand of our clients. And also, we have partnerships with leading OEMs like Microsoft and Scrums, as you can see on this page. Yeah. And yes, if we look into the footprints or the services what we are into, as I already said, we are into corporate trainings, IT field and mechanical engineer services, and cloud services and civil engineer services, and also HR services and staffings. So yes, these are the delivery modes which you can see. ILT is one of the best. I mean, the classroom training, the virtual training, customized, open house, on the demand, and even if you want like live record session is also. These are the basic, I mean, delivery modes which we take while going through the training sessions. And which what you are seeing is now it's authorized partners for whom we are working. Very few have shown here. Microsoft, Scrum Alliance, Scaled, Agile Framework, and Project Management. And offerings, what we give from our end, apart from these services, which you can see is campus to corporate hirings, and also give the training, career development or competence development level of trainings, and also the project consulting and the trainings or programs will be given from our end for behavioral development or soft skills related. And this is some specialized training modules. So far we have did, and few you can see very related to soft skills. As you can see, leadership and factory personal. Few specialized training modules these are. And next is soft skills related trainings, which you can see in this page. I mean, business skills, personal improvement, leadership. These all are few we have mentioned here. And the IT related, data science testing, full stack networking, automation. So basically, we are into very vast industry or many verticals we have came across to. And these are the internal resources which you can see. We have 7 in-house trainers, and as I mentioned, we have associated with 300 plus contracted consultants and freelance trainers too. And yes, this is the track process, which I have already said. This is the process which takes place when we get the demand from our client, and which fully customized, flexibly, effectively will give the customized solution to our clients within 4 to 24 hours. And these are the honorable clients which you can see we are working for them. We are happy also working with them. And over to today's session's important person, I take a moment to welcome and thank Mr. Mohit Gupta, who's a professional chartered accountant, who's a LLB rank holder and professional corporate trainer also. who's a great novelist, filmmaker, and medalist in state level judo, spiritual guru also. So it's a unique blend of experience and energy inside of in this session, which you'll get from Mr. Mohit Gupta in this session. This is a best topic. Also, I can tell you, and yes, I'll take a moment to thank Mr. Mohit Gupta for joining us today uh, for this webinar session. And yes, the key takeaways which you can take from this session of today is the topic about the topic and effective communication strategy and the general queries of it and efficient management techniques and how to boost it and efficiently and productively, how to build it and develop it, and how to boost the confidence within you. So these are the key takeaways which you can take from today's webinar session. Handovering to Mr. Mohit Gupta, thanking everybody over this session. I hope everybody will enjoy this session and take a knowledgeable and understanding key takeaways from your end. I'm signing off from this. Once again, thanks to everybody, all the participants and our teams and Mr. Mohit Gupta. Signing off. Thank you. Over to Mr. Mohit Gupta. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Amulya, for introducing me to the participants. And okay, so let's come to our session today for the communication and the team motivation. And am I audible to everyone? I just check. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Mohit. Yeah,
Okay,
go.
and I'm just sharing the PPT that we are going to discuss about the session today. Is this visible to everyone?
Yes, exactly. And I
Okay.
request, sorry for breaking you, Mohit. I
Yeah.
request all the participants to be on mute and enjoy the session. Happy learnings. Yeah, what?
Okay. Thank you, Raj. Okay. So today is our session about the team motivation and the world's most powerful weapon. As you can also see on your screen that I am calling this weapon as a Brahmastra. So first of my thing that is running into my mind that why I'm calling this communication as a world's most powerful weapon, that I compared it with the our mythological weapon in Sanatan Dharma, Brahmastra. Uh, because I believe that this is the weapon through which anybody can somebody can make a peace between the two war countries like India and Pakistan, or Russia and Ukraine, right? So this is the most powerful weapon through which you can spread the silence between the two enemy countries, or you can put the ignition, you can put the fire between two neighboring countries and initiate the third or the fourth world war. And that is none other than is communication. Communication can be used as a tool of spreading the peace between the nation, or the communication is a more dangerous tool or the weapon that can be used to initiate third world war. That's why I just called it as a Brahmastra. Right. Let me just give you an example. Right. You must be know about this personality, Adolf Hitler, which is known in the history as a more cruel person. Through his communication, he just allow his manpower, his army, right, to to fight with very brutally, right. He is the person who is the responsible for the Second World War. So just by his communication, he just he just communicate his thoughts to the many of the person who just going to die, who just going to kill anybody, just just by the using of his communication on a darker side. But if we are just talking on the other side, I'm just giving you the example of a person who is reside in the many people, the millions of the people heart, right? He reside in our heart, Mr. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So just by the thought, just by the communication, he just transfer his thought, right? Like after many of the decades, right? We are still inspired from his thought, by his thoughts, right? So it is the communication that he used to spread that without uh, just bring some any kind of the weapon. He just by his thought, he just uh, free some nation like South Africa and after that India, right? It is the communication. Now, before proceed further, before proceed further, and coming on the topic of the communication, I'm asking you the one of the question. What is the attitude? What is the attitude? You guys just simply text on the chat box. I'm just asking everyone because uh, before going further, I just want to know that what is the level? Are we on the same page? What is the meaning of attitude according to you? You guys can just use the chat box. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, Mohit.
Yeah. So you can just speak up, or you can just writing on the chat box. What is the meaning of attitude according to you? Because I need to know that before proceed further. I'm waiting, guys. Okay. Okay, fine. Sandeep Oja, how do you view or approach things? Okay, nice. Okay. Um, okay. Okay, fine. Not respect others. Okay, Mukilan. Okay. Okay. The way to treat the people and present yourself as well. Okay. Okay. Okay, fine, fine, fine. See. Okay. So let me give you an example of a person. Okay. Then you can tell me what kind of attitude he has. A person who lost almost 50 lakh of his saving in the new business, in a partnership business, but still he is so positive and considered that experience as a teaching, as a learning, and just moved away and just jumped to the new business venture. Are you getting my point? A person who lost 50 lakh rupees out of his saving in the partnership business, but it was not just cry after that incident. He just take it as a learning of the life and just jump into the new venture. What kind of attitude of this guy has? What kind of attitude? What kind of attitude? Sandeep ji, Mukilan ji, Nilesh ji, Murli ji, anyone else? Positive attitude. Nice. See, um, exactly. This is a positive attitude. See, when anything happened to you in life now, when anything happened to your life, right? So you have a two choices. You can cry on the past, which cannot be changed because past cannot be changed, right? Or you can just learn from that incident and do something positive for your future in your present, right? So you have two options, that you can ruin your present also for the sake of your past incidents, right? Or you can take some good initiative for the generation of your future in present itself, right? So it's your decision. It's your decision that whether you can cry for the past or whether you can do something aggressively or in a positive manner for your future time, right? That is the attitude, right? And our communication is totally depends on this thing that is called the attitude. Now I'm just jump into the next slide, that is the communication. Now just tell me, what is the communication? Let me give you an example. If I just need to communicate something with some of my girlfriend or some of my secretary, and I just dial the number of her and just told my things, and I'm not getting any kind of the feedback, and I'm not listening to her, and just shut the phone and put the dial down. What kind of a communication this is? Or is this called any kind of communication? What you guys are thinking about this example? I'm just going to someone and I'm just talking about my things, and without listening to their feelings or their response or their feedback, I just turn around my face or just put down my phone if I'm on call. Okay, Sandeep ji, one way communication, one way communication. Okay, okay. Then, okay, you all guys are on the same page. That is the one-way communication. Okay, fine. If you are considered is as a one-way communication, then what is the difference between communication and dictation? What is the meaning of dictation then? I'm just giving you the example of somebody, that if you are, if you are just talking your term and without listening to other one, without listening about their feedback, without waiting for their response, you are just move away. Guys, this is not a communication. We need, okay, fine, it is, you can call it as a one-way communication, but if we are here to improve that thing, so we will not consider as a communication because it is a dictation. It is a dictation. And if without hearing the audience, without hearing the respondent, or without waiting for their feedback, if we are just move out, how can we assure that whatever I was speak, whatever I was just told them, they understood that correctly or not? So even in a one-way communication, you are waiting for their response or the feedback. That's why in this example, I'm not taking it as a one-way communication either. It is a dictation, right? And many of us are doing the same mistake in our daily professional life or our personal life. We hardly taken care of the thing whether the respondent understand the thing which I'm just trying to communicate that thing, because we lack in a communication. We hardly know about the actual sense of the communication. So what is the meaning of the communication then, sir? Communication is just a medium, is just a bridge to send the thought of a one brain to the another brain. So communication is just a medium, right? So whatever is running into your mind, whatever is in your mind, communication goal is to transfer that thought, to transfer that vision, to transfer that thing into the brain of others. And if we are just if we are into just that thing that we hardly uh, uh, give an importance whether he is understand or not. We are just complete by our end. We are just communicating at that thing at our end, and we are just hardly care about whether he is understood or not. So that thing is not comes under the communication, because communication is a more psychological than you understand right now. Because we are here not to just transfer the words. We are here to understand how to communicate your thought properly, right? So what is the sense? What is the sense if you are hardly give the importance whether your respondent is understood that thing correctly or not? So you can just put that words into just wall, which is also not responding you, right? So what is the actual meaning of the communication? The communication meaning is just transferring your thought, and you have to assure yourself whether your thoughts completely and in a correct manner transfer to your respondent or not. And for that, you have to ask for their suggestions too, their feedback too, their response too. And without their response, without their feedback, communication cannot be completed. Communication cannot be completed, right? And for a better communication, for efficient communication, because everybody of us, I believe, we want to be a good communicator. That is a one of the personality trait about a good leader, right? So for initiate a efficient communication to influence our audience, to influence our respondent, you have to communicate very clearly. And for the good communication, you have to assure yourself whether he understood that thing in a correct manner, whatever is your goal, or not, right? So communication is just a medium to transfer your thought, right? So please keep into that mind, keep in your mind, right? That thing. So for this, four types of the communication that we are going to discuss over here in a very quick manner. The first one is verbal, right? So use a very strong and the confident voice, right? If you are going to initiate some issue, or if you are going to initiate some topic, and if you are not confident, then your audience, then your respondent will lose the confidence in your topic terms. And about the second one, avoid filler words and the jargons, right? Like many of us, I just observe the people, many of us, when we are just empty with the words and we are just empty with the thoughts, then we are just trying to put that, trying to put some words, unnecessary words, like, I know, blah, 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 which are not related to our topic. We are just use those filler consistently. Okay, you can use that on a one or two times or three times. But if you are using such kind of the blank words regularly in your conversation, it's showing to your respondent that you are not having a proper content in your thoughts, in your mind, right? So before initiate the communication, you have to be filled with the proper content to communicate your thoughts to your audience, right? The third one is listening actively. I will come on to this later in my next slide. Second one, non-verbal, non-verbal, right? Which is the most common language globally. It's not English, it's not Hindi, it's not any kind of language like German, Spanish, but it's a sign language. It's a sign language. So if you are choosing a sign language to communicate your thought, then you have to learn it properly first, right? And use it properly first, right? So you can also learn some good gesture about the sign language, right? And about the third one, that is a written, right? So we are not going to discuss about it so much, right? Because we all know about it very well, right? But there are few tips which I am going to share with you, right? Use simple and easy words to understand the language, right? Do not show, do not, be a over smart person in communication, right? So use the words according to the people, according to the audience. See, if I'm going to address some people who are belongs to um, very intellectual, right? So my words, my vocabulary will be different. But if I am into the conversation with some dropouts, with some teenagers, then my vocabulary will be changed according to that situation, right? So keep into the mind what is your target audience and choose a word accordingly, right? Last one, that is a visual. Visuals are so influential. Visuals are so powerful, right? So if you can give some example, if you can give some visuals, if you can show some slides, then it will be the more powerful, right? It should be very clear and impactful that your target of the communication will be achieved certainly, right? Let's come to the next slide. Question. What is the reference of question here? I I'm just giving you an example. Just answer me about that. There are two guys, right? There is a one man who just speak whatever come into his mind, whatever come into his heart. He just speak without any filter, without giving a thought about it. He just speak whatever come into his mind. That is the one thing, right? That is a let's just name that guy Ramesh, right? So Ramesh just started the conversation as soon as he gets some thought into the mind or his heart. He just throw out from his mouth, right? He just throw out without knowing that what kind of a word he is using, right? And there is a second person. Let's just name Mitali, right? So she is like before initiate any communication before initiate any conversation, she just giving a thought before initiate the communication. So she questioned herself whether this is the right time to initiate the conversation, whether this is the right audience to begin the conversation with, whether the words which I am going to select to initiate my conversation are right. So I am just asking you guys, who can be a better communicator in these two examples, Ramesh or Mitali? What do you think? Ramesh, who just don't think before the communication, and Mitali, yeah, okay, Mukilanji, Mitali, yes, right. You know, uh, what is the problem? Problem is we all know about the solution, we all know about the problem, we all know about the particular solution, but we don't want to follow the solution. We understand that Mitali is a right communicator, Mitali is a good communicator, Mitali can be a better communicator, right? But there is somewhere Ramesh inside in our brain. every one of us, most of us, somewhere Ramesh, because we are never give a second thought before initiate any conversation with anyone, you know, and that thing just resist us ourselves to be a better communicator, right? So I hope after the session today, we just thought about it, right? And for a better communicator, we just plan our communication rather than just start without any intention. Okay, okay. Next one, that is the listening. Okay, I'm just highlight it as just don't listen or pretend to listen. Start active listening. Start active listening. How you can do that? How you can start active listening? See, let me give you another example. If there is, okay, if there is a person who reside in a live-in relationship, right, and when he goes to the apartment, his girlfriend just complaining about his living etiquettes, that your a wet towel just lie on the bed, your shoes are here and there, and my whole day is just vanishes about just settling these your stuff, right? And the guy just look at the mobile and just look at some kind of the messages or emails or the reminders and just pretending that he is listening to the complaints of his girlfriend, right? So I'm just asking you guys, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Is this a listening or is this just pretend to be a listening? What do you think? Is this can be count as a listening or just pretend for listening? Mukilanji, I'm expecting answer from you. Sushma ji, Sandeep ji. Okay. So just not active listening. Okay, hearing. Okay, fine. So guys, we all are humans, right? And we all can understand whether the respondent are just hearing, are just listening, or are just pretend to be a good listener, right? So we don't do that. If you are busy somewhere, if you are not if you are not free at the time to fall yourself into the conversation, right? Or if you are engaged somewhere, then you can just simply tell your partner that I'm engaged somewhere, I'm not completely here mentally, right? So I'm mentally absent right now, so we can discuss about it later. So by doing that, right, you can just save the energy of the speaker, you can just save the energy of the communicator, right? So don't pretend to be a listener. Just for the sake of your relationship, just don't do that, right? So this is the another tip for a good communication, right? And here are something for you. There are 7 C's for the effective communication, right? The first one, that is completeness. Okay, providing all the necessary information for the clear understanding and the informed decision, right? So many times we are when we are just starting the conversation, we assume that the topic which we are going to discuss with the respondent are also running into the mind of the respondents, right? So it is not necessary. It is not the necessary thing, right? So you might be on another page and someone, your respondent may be on the other page, right? So might be you are just talking about the red color of of car, but somebody might be just think about some red champagne or red wine, right? So don't assume the subject, right? Don't assume the same subject. Don't assume the thing which is into your mind that your respondent also having the same thing in their mind, right? So if we are going to initiate some kind of the conversation, it is our responsibility to give the complete information about the subject on which we are going to discuss, or on which we are going to taking a time of our respondent. It is our responsibility, right, to give the complete information about the subject. And about the second one, that is the clearness, right? uh, as I told you earlier in a previous slides, right? If you are providing some kind of messages, if you are just giving some kind of example, if you are just starting your conversation, right? So you have to assure yourself, you have to ensure yourself that your respondent understood your thing correctly and without any confusion. And how can you assure that thing? How can you assure that thing, right? You can just ask for their suggestion, you can just ask for their feedback, right? So by doing that thing, by doing that activity, you just got to know that whether he understood your subject clearly or not, right? And the next one, that's the courtesy. Some time ago I was in Nepal, and my friend was in Bangalore, right, in the South India, and he was just about to marry some girl, right? So I was not able to attend his wedding ceremony, right? So his wedding, right? So I was just planned to call him through the video call at night, and I was just thought like it's 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. In Nepal. I was just thought that, right? But in Bangalore, I guess there is some distance of the time, right? So I was just call him again and again and again, and not picking up the video call. He was not picking up that thing, right? So uh, what should I do? Should I should I just consistently try to poke him, or should I just consistently try to disturb him with his first night, right? So certainly not, right? This is the courtesy. So we have to show some respect, we have to show the politeness and professionalism when we are going to interact with someone, right? So we should not be in a rush to we I should not be in a hurry to just initiate the conversation with the respondent without any giving the importance whether he's in a mood, whether he's into the situation, to listening my thing completely or not. Whether it might be possible that he might be dealing with some kind of the negative thing, or some kind of the tragedy in his life, or some kind of a any other kind of very important thing of his life, right? So don't just initiate the conversation without asking about the permission, whether I can initiate the conversation with you, whether this is the right time to talk with you, right? So before initiate any conversation, if it's not a business hour, right, just ask for a simple permission. Is it right time to talk with you, right? Because we have to show some respect for their privacy with their time, right? Okay. And the fourth C in this slide here is correctness. I was traveling from Maharashtra to Delhi after the seminar, and a person sitting right of me in a Rajdhani first class. So I was so impressed with his vocabulary, with his communication. He was just speaking in the Marathi language, and he was into the conversation with some Marathi guy, but he was not Marathi himself, right? And when I asked him, sir, you are not look like a Maharashtrian, but you are a perfect person in a speaking Marathi. So how's it possible? So he told me one thing, that I'm just creating the relation between the Maharashtrian, and for that I'm just learning the Marathi. And I was just so impressed that he is putting so efforts in creating the relation, that he is not just initiate the conversation, but he initiate the conversation with their local language, right? But many of us are just trying to put the same thing in our conversation, put the same actions in our conversation for impress our boss, for impress our colleagues, for impress our seniors or juniors, or their mates. We are just trying to initiate the conversation in their local language without know about that language, without learn about that local language. We just try to initiate the conversation in their local language. So we are very inaccurate in the grammar portion, or in a punctuation, in a spellings, right? So that might be a disaster, because people are so sensitive about their culture, about their religion, about their language. And if you don't know about their language, if you don't ever learn about their language, I just simply suggest you, don't fall yourself into a hustle, right? Don't do that, right? Don't touch that topics, right? So if you are choosing the path, if you are choosing that you have to initiate the conversation in their local language, you have to learn that thing first, right? So you have to be accurate in the punctuation, in your grammar portion, right? And the next thing is concreteness, right? So what if I just get some kind of artificial intelligence videos in my mobile and just simply forward to the other groups without knowing the facts, without knowing the credibility of the source? I just simply forward the WhatsApp messages or the videos to the other groups. See, whatever the conversation is just passed through, it will be your responsibility to checking the facts with before forward it to the further thing, before forward it to further groups or people, right? So for a better communication, for effective communication, it is a necessary of the world today, actually, because it is a time of the AI, it is the time of the artificial intelligence. Many of us, like I was just simply sitting at my home, and just somebody sent me a video, and in that video a monk who just ride a crocodile. I was just thinking, like, is it possible that a person just ride a predator, ride a crocodile, right? And it was like so, it looked like a very genuine thing. But when I ask with Chat GPT, when I ask with the AI, it was not a real thing, right? So we also, might get be targeted by some kind of the information which we can just rely upon and just forward to the other groups, right? Don't do that. So without checking the facts, without checking the credibility of the source, don't forward any kind of the information at your end to the other groups or other people, right? Otherwise it can completely destroy your public image and your goodwill. And the next one, conciseness. Many of us are like very fond of speaking our things and all, right? And without any any necessary detail, without any facts, we are just simply just forwarding the things by adding any unnecessary detail or the information. This will just kill the time of your respondent, and they should not allow that, right? They must not be allowed that, right? So just cut out that unnecessary detail, right? And just simply deliver the facts, just simply deliver the summary, just deliver the important information to your respondent. Just save the time of your respondent, right? So that is a conciseness. And after that, that is the consideration. Consideration, right? If you are into the conversation with some guy and you are just initiate any kind of the conversation which is not relevant for him, which is not relevant for him. So what do you think? Whether he will found himself interested in your that conversation? Obviously not. See, at the today's time, people are so busy in their life. We are even not having the sufficient time to see some kind of the good videos. We just rely on the reels out of that. So we hardly have 30 to 60 seconds, and we just try to understand what is going on in that theory or what is just going into that movie, right? So we hardly have the time for any kind or anybody, right? So we have, when we are into the conversation with someone, it is our primary responsibility. Just don't kill the time of your audience or your respondents, right? So just deliver those things only which are relevant for them, which are important for them, right? If you are just passing the information which is not relevant to your audience, that then they will started to hate you, they will ignore you in future, right? So just don't do that. So there are the 7 C's for the effective communication. That is first one, completeness, right? Complete your topic, complete your subject. Without doing that, don't fall yourself into the hustle. Otherwise you will talk about some kind of other thing and your respondent will think about his dream girl. It might be also possible, right? And second thing, that is a clearness. Your message should be clear, right? It should not contain any kind of the confusion. If you are confused at yourself, then your audience will lose the control first. After that, courtesy. Don't just be a selfish guy that I just need to complete my thing. I hardly care about that whether he's into the situation to understand my thing or not. Don't do that. Show some respect to their time, their privacy, and always use the politeness as much as possible and professionalism whenever you are into the interaction with others, right? So that is the courtesy. And the fourth one is correctness, right? So if you are just trying to impress your seniors or colleagues and your junior, whatever the person is, and if you are just trying to impress them, that you are also know their local language. So just keep into your mind, if you are speaking their local language or their regional language, make yourself assured that you are so accurate about that language. Otherwise, you might be praise him, but they consider is as abuse, right? That is also possible, right? So just make sure that you are accurate about the punctuation, about the grammar, and the other thing about that language if you are talking in other language, right? Next one is that is the completeness, as I told you earlier, right? Using the facts, using the credibility of the source through which you are getting the information. If I am getting the information that as I'm chartered accountant, so whenever I'm getting any kind of the information related to the GST or the income tax, so I just visited simply to the official website of the GST or the income tax department. And without doing that, I never rely on any kind of information which is just flow in a virtual world. That is a WhatsApp. We all call that is a WhatsApp university. So just don't do that, right? Otherwise, you can lose your brand, you can lose your image. And after that, that is the conciseness. Don't add some kind of unnecessary details. Otherwise, next one, otherwise your respondent may lose the interest in the important message that is hidden in between the unnecessary detail, right? And the last one is that is a consideration. Don't just put yourself into the conversation with any person who are not related to that topic, right? So always just try to be very specific, always just try to be very particular about the topic, which are so relevant about you and your audience. Let's come to our next slide. Now, uh, you guys can see the people who are just holding the arrow, which is showing some kind of the profit or the growth of any organization, right? You guys must be understand now that is we are shifting towards the team motivation, right? So when I delivered the seminar for the many of the organization in North India, right, in India, in Pan India, right, in Maharashtra, right. So I just simply told them, okay, let me give you an example, and I'm just asking you, can you just guess about the name which is into my mind right now? A person who is most lovable among the employees, among his employees. Can you just name that guy? Can you just guess like which name is running into my mind right now? Who is lovable? Who is most praisable? Who is most appreciable among his employees? I'm just giving you a hint. He's no more with us on this planet. You can just simply tell the name in chat box. Ah, Sri Hari. Okay, Sri Hari ji. Absolutely right. Ratan Tata. You know, so Ratan Tata was the only person, as I know about the reliable sources about him, and he's so caring about his employees. He considered his employees as his own son and daughter, their own kids, right? And one of his interview, I was just hearing like an interviewer asked him, "Sir, why didn't you marry in your life?" So just simply answer like, "What should I do after the marriage? What should I do?" Right? I have so many of the kids in my organization. I have so many of my family member in my organization. So when interviewer asked like, "Why didn't you marry?" So it's just simply that what I need for the marriage, for the family. I have my family. I have the lots of the kids in my organization. So he was so simple but amazing personality, right? So uh, it is his spirituality. It is his aura. It is his influential words that after his life also we are also loved him. You might be not his employee, I'm not his employee, but still we appreciate him for the life he lived, for the life he lived, for whom, for his organization, for the employees, right? So so this is the perfect example of an industrialist, right, who is who is successful, was successful in the team binding, right? But as I mentioned you, that everyone has a different attitude, everyone has a different set of the beliefs and the values in his life. Then it is so difficult sometimes that make all them under the one single roof and work for a same goal, the goal of the organization, right? For that, I just simply give the some suggestion to many of the organization to conduct the skill training for the team building, for the employees, for their behavioral pattern, for their time management, right? So that all of them just correlate their personal goals with the goals of the organization on a same pathway and work for that, right? So I will ask you one of the question. After that, you guys can relate your personal life goal with the goal of the organization for which you are working, right? And if we are just we are successful in doing that, then we can say that we are a good team, right? And that is the question which is in front of you. Why? Right? I'm just simply give you an example, right? I'm just simply give you an example. Today we are in front of each other via online seminar, online webinar, right? A webinar. If we are into a offline session and I'm just simply asking you that you have to go to the upstairs and just look at the reception, just look at the reception and just touch the reception desk and then coming back to the seminar hall, then hardly any one of you will be interested in doing that activity. Like, sir, what is the point that we are going to the main gate and just simply touch that gate and just return back to our seminar hall? What is the point? So you hardly might go there, just move out from that place, and from the middle, very much you just return back. But if I'm just telling you that there is some of your family members, some of your daughter, some of your father just come to the organization and asking to visit you, asking to see you, then the speed, then then the reason of your then the reason of you then the reason for you to just going to that main gate will be increased. Speed of your walking will increase. That what might be happen, that my family member are looking for me in my office, right? What I'm just doing, I'm just giving you a reason. I'm just giving you the why, right? So I'm just simply ask one thing to everyone, whether you are engaged in study, whether you are engaged in any kind of job, whether you are engaged in any kind of startup or business. I'm just giving you the one thing. Just simply thought about why. Why should I do? Why should I woke up early in the morning every day and just run for the office? Why? Why should I why should I hire someone? Why should I go for some client at regular place, whether he's good or not in talkings, whether he's good with the conversation or not, whether he's so rude, but still I have to go with them, or asking some kind of the document which is so relevant for the, let's just ITR filing or the GST filing. So you have to just answer the simple question, that is a why. So whatever you are doing in your life, you have to just answer this, why you need to do that. Why do you need to do that? Why are you doing that? Right? I hope I'm transfer you the same thought what I'm feeling right now. Right? So that is one of the powerful thing. Why? And if you have a sufficient reason for your life, for your professional life, or your personal life, whatever it is, if you have a sufficient reason for the thing, whatever you are, or whatever you are doing in your life, if you have a sufficient reason behind that, your why, your justification, your reason, then the chances of your success will increase. Will increase. Right? Now, okay. Let's come to the next slide. I'm just asking you one simple question, whether you are guys interested in activity, or you guys are just want that I should continue with my lecture only. What do you want? Activity or lecture for the another 20 minutes? Another 20 minutes we have. Activity, right? Fine, fine, fine. Okay. So, okay. Okay, fine, fine. So if at least five people will ask in the chat box that's activity, then I'll start the activity. Then I'll start the activity. At least five, four more at least, four more. So you can just simply write the activity in the chat box. Okay, fine. Okay, okay. Then just okay. Move to the okay. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, okay, fine. I understand, guys. Okay, so just simply, I just want that everyone please turn on your camera that we can just look at each other, right? Because we need we need to watch each other, right? So that we can guys just participate in the activity. Everyone, please just turn on your camera. Raj, can we allow the people to turn on their camera?
Sure, you can. Sure, sure, sure.
Okay, okay. So guys, just turn on your camera, please. We are just going to conduct a activity. We are just because this is a webinar and webinar has a another kind of the limitation, but we are just trying to put on some great activity today. Can we move it to turn on the camera, everyone? Okay, fine. Okay, so for another few minutes, I'm just okay. We have only one candidate here, that is Lingraj. Okay, okay, let's start then. Then we'll find out what the solution for that. Okay, so just take a piece of paper. Just take a piece of paper and close your eyes, right? And I'll give you some instructions, right? It is a more challenge for me in a webinar. Yeah, yeah, that will work. That will work. It's a more challenging for me in a webinar because many of the people might be engaged in some other activities after joining the webinar. Okay, fine. So just close your activity and just follow the instruction which I'm going to do. Okay, just fold that paper in a right direction from the middle. Just fold that paper. Okay, now fold it again. Fold it again.
You did not mention the direction.
uh yeah, yeah, you can fold it again from the middle. Okay, okay, now just okay, now you don't need to show the paper on your screen. Okay, fine, because we just checked with the result. Okay, now just tear apart from the middle of that folded paper. Everyone, please. I'll wait for the result of your paper. Okay, okay. So Lingraj, have you done that? Okay, okay. Just show what how it is look nice. How it is look now. Please unfold it. Unfold. Okay, okay. You tear it very badly. Okay, okay, okay. I'm thinking about that. You should be a ladies tailor. You must be a ladies. Okay, okay, fine. So, okay, most of the people are very shy, right? So they don't turn on the screen. But I am sure the pattern of every paper, most of the paper at least, would be different, right? So if you guys can just turn on your screen, that we can just check out the results. So I just, wish that this time I must be there in an offline session. So okay, fine, that, right. So what's the learning? What's the learning? The learning is that uh, whatever, whatever a communicator, whatever a communicator instruct or speaking or just translate their thought into the words, audience just interpret those things according to their beliefs, right? According to their beliefs, right? And that thing creates the difference between the team members. That thing just create the difference between the result of the team members, right? And the purpose of our session, and the purpose of our session is to just create the opposite, is to just create the team building, not the difference. It's just to reduce the differences and create the team building. That is the purpose of our session, right? So what is the team building then, sir? When when the all guys in a team, in a group of team, when the all guys are on the same page and work for a common goal, work for a common goal, right? Then only that kind of the organization will succeed in a market, will succeed in a market. And to come on a same page, and to come on a same page, and to come on a common result, and to come on a common goal for any organization, it is our primary responsibility as a team to discuss those things with another team member, with other team members. And for that discussion, you need to initiate the communication. That is the thing, guys. That is the purpose of our webinar today. Now you can understand and link the bridge between two of the session today, the teamwork and the communication. It means, it means that without the communication between the team members, teamwork cannot be done. And for a better communication, for the better communication, you need to understand these 7 C's for the effective communication. Now you guys can just think about the outcome, think about the result, think about the result of the activity which is done by a team which is having lack of these 7 C's, which is in front of you in a slide. So there are like, suppose there are 2 teams. So one team strictly follows these 7 C's for the effective communication. That is the completeness, that is the clearness about their guidance, that is courtesy, that is the concreteness, that is the correctness, conciseness, and consideration. And other team, one team which is not so good in these 7 C's, and other team which strictly follows these 7 C's for the effective communication. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Which one of the team, A or team B, will give the better result out of the teamwork? What do you think? Obviously, it's a team B. Many of us, when we are working in a group, when we are working, like let me give you a perfect example, other perfect example, right? Currently, there is a program which is on air by the Geo Hotstar, that is a Big Boss, right? That is a big boss. So I'm also a behavioral trainer. So I'm working on the people mentality. I'm just observing the people. I'm just giving the example of the different people. So I just simply watch out that program someday, right? So there are many people like 10 or 12 or like 15 people are in the same house with the other condition, with the past different experiences, their personal goals, but all of them are having the same goal, that is a big boss trophy, right? So I was just working on that behavior of every individual these days, right? So many of the time, almost every day, they fought with each other, they fight with each other on a very, very silly things, on a very silly subjects. And what is the outcome? The outcome is very bad. Even the Salman on the weekend just come out on the screen and just ask them like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. So as a leader of that program, he just simply guided them that you are wrong into that direction and just don't do that for the next time. You know why? Because they all, every one of them has a different mindset. Every one of them has a different perception about the program. Every one of them has a different perception about the activity which are conducted by the big boss in that house. Right. So I'm not talking much about that program, but that is just an example here, just for the example of the teamwork activity. Right. So just just we have to understand it, right? So for a great teamwork, we have to initiate the conversation. We have to do a proper communication, right? And we have to strictly follow those C's which are earlier mentioned in the previous slides, right? And by doing those things, we can just make a good team. And as we all know, as we mentioned earlier, if you are successful in creating a good team, as the Ratan Tata does in his life, your organization will succeed in their mission, in their vision. And if organizations succeed, the personal goal will also be achieved by every individual.